High-risk maintenance, zero safety control. Here, a group of mechanics is working on a heavy truck with the entire cabin tilted forward. No wheel chocks, no support stands, no hydraulic lock, just hope and bare hands. As one worker loosens a part under the truck, the unsecured cabin suddenly gives way, and that several hundred kilogram structure comes crashing down. The man underneath gets pinned instantly, while the others scramble in panic, trying to lift the cabin with pure muscle. But by then, the damage is already done. This is what happens when gravity becomes the boss. Heavy vehicle maintenance requires mechanical locks, jack stands, chocks, and proper lifting restraints. Never rely on a single hydraulic tilt. Never put any part of your body under a load that isn't 100% secured. One simple pin, one safety prop. In this factory, a massive steel coil is being lifted by an overhead crane, but one worker is standing too close to the moving load, right inside the swing path. As the coil shifts, it suddenly swings toward him, knocking him off balance and pinning him against the machine. A few seconds of unsafe positioning turned into a dangerous situation. This is why suspended loads should always have a clear safety zone. Workers must stand back, spotters should guide the lift, and no one should be under or beside heavy equipment while it's in motion. The lesson is simple. If it hangs, stay back. Distance is safety. Awareness is protection. A few extra steps away can prevent a serious accident. Enjoying the video? Then hit that like button and subscribe to Impact Zone for more wild safety moments. And in the comments, tell me, what industry do you work in? Construction, warehouse, healthcare, office? I want to know where you're watching from. A kitchen fire doesn't wait for a mistake. It waits for a moment of distraction. One overheated pan, a splash of oil, or a wrong move can turn a calm kitchen into a fire zone in seconds. That's why fire control knowledge is just as important as cooking skills. Grease fires can't be stopped with water. That only makes the flames explode. The right response is simple. Turn off the heat, cover the pan with a lid or fire blanket, and cut off the oxygen. Keep baking soda or a Class K extinguisher within reach, not buried in a cabinet. Most kitchen fires don't start because A worker is unloading a pallet jack onto a loading dock, but the dock plate isn't properly secured. The moment he rolls forward, the plate shifts, and the jack drops into the gap, dragging him down with it. He barely escapes serious injury, but this could have gone much worse. Loading docks are one of the most dangerous areas in any warehouse. A single unsecured plate can turn into a trap within seconds. Always verify the dock plate is locked, level, and rated for the weight you're moving. Use wheel chocks, inspect the edge gap, and never rush onto a platform without confirming it's stable. In this scene, the operator is reversing a forklift into a parking bay, but the load on the forks is taller than the overhead frame. Because he's moving backward, his view is limited, and instead of stopping to check his clearance, he keeps rolling in. The top of the load slams into the structure, stopping the forklift and shaking the entire frame. No one is hurt, but the impact could have damaged both the building and the machine. A delivery truck pulls up, and the workers begin unloading a full pallet stacked higher than shoulder level. But right away, there's a problem. The pallet is unbalanced, the boxes aren't shrink-wrapped properly, and the weight is too close to the edge of the tail lift. Instead of securing the load or using a forklift, they try to roll it out manually with a pallet jack, and gravity takes control. The pallet tilts, the boxes shift, and the entire stack tips forward like a domino tower in slow motion. One person tries to catch it, but hundreds of kilograms of unstable cargo is not something human strength can stop. Seconds later, the pallet collapses, scattering boxes everywhere. The tail lift drops, and the delivery turns into a costly cleanup. In logistics, stability matters. Pallets must be wrapped, load centered, and tail lifts only used within their rated limits. One small shortcut can become massive product loss or a serious injury. A delivery truck is backing up with a forklift still partially inside the cargo area. Because the lift wasn't fully secured or removed, the weight shifts the moment the truck reverses, and the forklift tips straight out of the truck and hits the ground. Situations like this happen when loading equipment isn't fully disengaged before the vehicle moves. Anytime a forklift is being used on a truck, the wheels should be locked, the operator should be clear, and the driver should have visual confirmation that the lift is stable and detached. A simple pause for a final safety check could prevent thousands in damage and a serious accident. clear communication, proper loading procedures, and a spotter on the ground can make all the difference in moments like this. This tree worker is taking down a giant trunk, piece by piece, doing what looks like a routine, controlled removal. The top section is roped, the cut is made, and for a split second, everything seems to go as planned. But the moment that top breaks free, the weight shifts in the wrong direction. Instead of dropping cleanly, it swings backward, turning into a massive wooden wrecking ball. And here's the lesson: trees don't fall the way you want. They fall the way physics decides. That means if the hinge cut is uneven, if the rope angle is off, or if the balance point is wrong, the tree won't drop. It will kick, twist, or swing. Professional arborists always calculate weight distribution, cut angle, rope tension, and anchor point, escape route before the saw even starts. Because at this height, with this kind of force, there's no second chance. Plan the cut, control the fall, and never stand where gravity wants to land. These workers are trying to load rubble into a dump truck, but instead of using proper tools or standing clear, they lean their bodies inside the tailgate to push the debris upward. What they don't realize is that the tailgate isn't locked in place, and with the weight shifting, the latch suddenly gives way, sending the tailgate swinging shut with full force, trapping the workers in a crush zone. This is how a simple loading job can turn into a life-changing accident in seconds. A tailgate this size can weigh hundreds of kilos, and once gravity takes over, there's no time to react. Before loading any truck, secure the tailgate with a secondary lock. Never lean inside the hinge zone, and always keep hands and bodies away from moving panels, because you can push rubble all day, but you only get one spine, one skull, and one set of hands. Two workers are trying to unload a massive cabinet from the back of a truck, and right from the start, you can tell. This thing is way too heavy to be handled by just two people. No lifting straps, no pallet jack, no spotter, just raw confidence and wishful thinking. They tilt the cabinet forward, trying to walk it down slowly, but the moment the weight shifts, it turns into a runaway object. The worker on the right loses control, and the entire cabinet topples forward and slams straight onto the other guy standing in front of it. He disappears under the load, completely pinned, and for a split second, everything stops. Because even the guy who dropped it knows how bad that could have ended. Thankfully, the trapped worker manages to move and get back up. But that was one broken leg, one crushed rib, or one spinal injury away from a life-changing accident. Heavy objects don't care how strong you are. They need the right tools, the right plan, and enough people to control the weight. Because once gravity takes over, you're not stopping it. A forklift operator is moving two huge crates at once. And right away, you can tell this is asking for trouble. Instead of stacking them properly, he tries to balance one crate on top of another while still driving. As he lifts the load toward the truck bed, the worker standing inside reaches out to guide it. But the moment the operator tilts forward, the entire upper crate shifts. Gravity does its thing, and the box comes down like a giant Jenga piece, sweeping the worker right off the truck and onto the ground. Luckily, he gets back up, probably more shocked than hurt. But this could have gone way worse. Overloaded forks, unstable stacking, and zero spotters on the ground. That's the kind of shortcut that turns into a headline. When using forklifts, one load at a time, never stack loosely, and always keep people out of the fall zone, because boxes don't care who's standing under them. This conveyor platform is supposed to smoothly move stacks of bricks across the yard, but watch what happens when the controls suddenly fail. The worker on top notices something's wrong. The conveyor isn't slowing down, and it's definitely not stopping. He tries to balance himself, but that entire load of bricks is now riding a runaway platform. At this point, the only smart move is escape. So he jumps down and runs for it, just seconds before everything goes from industrial workday to brick avalanche. The platform reaches the end, there's no emergency stop, and the whole stack collapses like a demolition scene. Bricks everywhere, dust, impact, zero control, and one very lucky worker who didn't stay for the finale. When moving heavy loads, machines need fail-safes, manual kill switches, emergency brakes, backup controls, because when the system fails, you don't get a warning, just a crash.